Guys, gals, it's finally here. We got a trailer for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Early Days collection, and this is my fourth time trying to record this video. Yeah, I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Initially I wanted to react to the video and just take a look with you together, but that didn't really turn out the way I wanted. Oh boy, oh no, what the hell, dude? So I just want to quickly say a few thoughts, what I think about the trailer, what it shows us, and what's probably gonna happen going forward with the franchise. As a quick reminder for all of you, if you're not up to date, what is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Early Days collection? Basically, it's a retro collection of Yu-Gi-Oh! Games from the Game Boy era, back when they were called Duel Monsters games, and most of these are a very... Basically, it's like Forbidden Memories, just with a slightly different set of rules and mechanics depending on which of these games you're playing, and with time, of course, they got closer and closer to what we're used to now in Yu-Gi-Oh! Video games.
Ever since, I've had what they call Dino DNA.
A quick look here, you can see most of these are just Duel Monsters, Duel Monsters 2, Duel Monsters 3, with the occasional odd one out like Monster Capsule. Also, we have Dungeon Dice Monsters, we have... where is it? We have Destiny Board Traveler, whatever the hell that one is. I've never played it in my life, so that's going to be interesting. There were a few points of discussion on this game, and one of the major ones was, are these games going to be translated? I was always on the side that there is no way they're not going to translate them. This is an international release on multiple platforms. How the hell would they do that without having at least an English version for each game? And some of you had concerns that I was wrong, that they would just drop this in Japanese and then just leave us to be, but fortunately, I was right. Sort of. Let's take a look. As you can see, with the first game immediately, we have the confirmation the games are being translated, and this is for each and every one of them except one title. So this is the first one, the second one, the third one, the fourth, the fifth one, and this is where things get interesting. For some reason, number 6 is not getting a translation, and this is the only one out of the entire pack of 14 games. I don't exactly know what the reason for that is.
In another few hours, the sun will rise.
What the f*** does that mean?
I don't know, but it's true.
This is leaving me a bit clueless, honestly. But the other ones, as you can see, Sacred Cards, are a Chef of Destruction. I didn't know Slifer was in that game. So if you're interested, go ahead and watch the trailer. It's a nice watch, it's just like 3 minutes, and it really shows how things progress from the very first game being in black and white, and adding colors, adding mechanics, adding more menus, adding a hub to roam around and buy card packs. It's quite a nice view, I don't know, it warms my heart. The second thing that we got from this trailer that was not known prior is how some of these additional features that they're implementing are gonna look like in the game. A major one for me personally is unlocking cards that were previously not available, cards that you could only get from opponents that the game would lock you out of, cards that you could only get if you participated in a tournament in Tokyo back in 1998 or something. For some reason I had hoped that they would include these cards in drop tables for some of the in-game enemies so you could actually get them through gameplay. Sadly, it seems that this is not the case, because in this menu we can see that we have an option to add a certain amount of copies of every single card to our trunk, meaning that you will get the unobtainable cards by basically cheating. And honestly, I don't like that at all. I think they could have gone into the games and just change the drop tables, man. Just, like, it can't be that hard. Just change a few values around in the code. Is it that difficult? I don't know, I can't imagine. I'm a bit disappointed with this, to be quite frank with you. However, the other options are looking quite good. You can toggle restricted cards, you can select some of the enemies that the game locks you out of and change them out in the menu so you can fight all of them in one save file, you can get all of their cards in one save file, that's great. And probably one of the bigger features is you can toggle the deck capacity. I don't even know if we knew that prior to this. And I think this could have quite an impact on how some of these games are played, so I'm really looking forward to testing that out. We knew about this already, and I don't think there's much new stuff here. Like, I guess we can see that the rewind goes for up to a minute, so you can just play it back if something bad happens.
Come on. No way!
This is all standard stuff you can find in any emulator, but remember, we cannot get this experience on emulators because there are no translations of the original ROMs available, so it should be a given that they do this, but I'm still glad that they didn't screw this up because that would have been a major problem playing these games. A few months ago, I played the very first Duel Monsters game, and that game runs slow as hell. It takes like 5 seconds when you end your turn until your opponent can actually do something. It's really freaking slow. So again, we knew that they're including this, but I still want to comment on how important that actually is to playing these old games. Yeah, that was a trailer. So we got a few bits of information that we didn't really know prior to this, so I'm glad that this dropped, that we can confirm this now, we can rest easy in terms of discussing the translations. And again, make sure to check out the trailer yourself, but before we end this, I want to take a minute and talk about the potential future of how this is going to continue with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise going forward. We know that Konami is big on retro collections, or has been for the last few years. The only problem I'm seeing with Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that they are very spread out on different systems. If you look at the comments of these trailers, a lot of people want Forbidden Memories, they want Duelist of the Roses, they want Foulspine Kingdom, and these 3 games, for example, they are on 3 separate systems, like the GameCube, I think, PlayStation, PlayStation 2, and I'm not sure if these systems are as easily emulated by Konami as the Game Boy hardware, so this could be a problem going forward. If they manage to pull this off, and if they see enough, like, financial potential, they might still do it. So we might be able to get Forbidden Memories and Monster Capsule Breed and Battle, the very, very first Yu-Gi-Oh! Game that was ever released in 1998. We could get Duelist of the Roses and Capsule Monster Colosseum, my personal favorite, on the PlayStation 2. We could get Foulspine Kingdom on the GameCube. Still, those are 5 games on 3 different systems, so I'm not really sure how they would pull that off. And I think the next big systems that people would be looking forward to are the World Championship. The other series that people would be looking forward to are the Tag Force games for the PlayStation Portable, also some of my personal favorites, and of course the World Champion series on Nintendo DS. I have no idea if that's ever going to happen. I don't know if there's precedent for companies releasing collections in these systems. Maybe there is, maybe there's already like software in place that is able to emulate these very effectively. I mean, we know there are, but those are like off-brand emulators created by some third party, so I have no idea if they would be willing to cooperate. Anyways, with this here happening in the first place, and with Konami's general trend towards retro collections, I think we are allowed to be a little bit hopeful that we might get other games that never had an English localization, maybe some quality of life updates to some of the other games like Forbidden Memories, etc., which could also in turn improve the modability of some of these games. If you're not familiar, many of the games that I mentioned, like Forbidden Memories, Duels of the Roses, even Capsule Monster Colosseum has a freaking mod, and people are busting their asses off to figure out how they can mod PlayStation 2 games. Apparently it's very, very complicated. And maybe one day, if we get collections with these games or remakes, these things could also get easier. Remember, this is dropping on Steam, so we might even have some workshop content for this. At the very least, I hope people will be able to translate the 6th duel. At the very least, I hope people will be able to somehow translate the one game in here that's going to remain Japanese, but I think people will figure something out for sure. And yeah, that's basically it. That's all we got. I actually plan on streaming this game and also some other Yu-Gi-Oh! Games on this channel very soon, so if that's something that you're interested in, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe to the channel. Also make sure to check out my other videos on this channel. Yu-Gi-Oh! Challenges, Yu-Gi-Oh! Retrospective essay-style videos. A lot more of that is coming your way very soon. Until then, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.